Hey guys, welcome back to the True Walk Podcast. My name is Zach.
My name's Hayden.
We got a good one for you today.
Colossians Quattro.
But first,
let me take a selfie. Sorry. No, first, I have a great question that's been debated for millennia, some might say. That's not true at all, but centuries, decades.
What is a millennia?
I don't know. I think that's 1,000,000 years or 1,000 years. I think it's 1,000 years. I don't know. I don't remember. I have a question that's been debated for ages. You know, mainly like K through 5. But here's the question: who do you think would win in a fight?
Me.
Santa Claus
Okay.
or the Easter Bunny?
What?
You have to pick. There's no like, I don't know, bro. You have to pick.
I mean, are they both like...
There's cookies in the middle of the room. Winner
Well,
gets.
Santa's fat.
Winner gets.
So
the
he's going to get the
cookies.
cookies.
But the cookies, there's cookies and Cadbury eggs in the middle of the room. Winner gets to eat the treat that they like the most.
Is there any weapons? Is there like a...
Straight hands, feet, teeth. I mean, like elbows, like fists.
How big is
whatever
the
it
bunny? Is it life size like the one that petrified people as kids, or is it like an actual rabbit, like the Cadbury bunny?
No, it's the Easter Bunny.
Like the, yeah.
Like the one that would be like 5 to
6
6-ish feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah, like I seen them before. I just wanted to make sure that was the thing.
We could even throw the Tooth Fairy in this fight. I just figured that would probably not be something. Like it'd probably come down to those two. So I just
take her out.
okay.
Or him
All
out.
right.
Them out.
So I don't actually remember. Haven't lost a tooth in ages.
Yeah.
If I lose a tooth now, we're really good.
Yeah, if we lose teeth now, we're really good.
Yeah.
Speaking
All
of teeth,
right.
I gotta get my wisdom teeth pulled, bro.
So yes,
so scared.
the 5 to 6 foot height Easter Bunny. Whatever is assumed to be however tall Santa Claus is, they both have their favorite treat, whatever I'd assume, some type of egg for the Easter Bunny, and obviously cookies for Santa, in the middle of the room. The winner of the fight gets to have their treat. Who wins the fight?
And the bunny's cognitive enough to know that he's fighting for a treat.
I mean, yes, this is, yeah.
Okay.
Like he understands what he's fighting for. He understands what's at stake.
Yeah.
Or what's a treat.
I'm probably definitely taking the Easter bunny.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the kick power would just be like Alex Pereira style, like just Leon Edwards style, like to Kamaru Usman or something, like just headshot dead. Like I feel like it'd be like that. So I feel like he would get absolutely bunny kicks through a wall or something.
Now this is like, obviously they're all like magical, mystical, or whatever you call them. Like, if he's like flying through the wall, sticks in the wall, like, you're watching Superman or something, and then he just pops out of the wall and he's good, and it's...
I mean, I don't know what type of magical powers, like, Santa has. I know, like, bro flies around places and, like, delivers presents, but I don't know if he has any, like, fighting magical powers. So, like...
That's what I'm saying.
To me, the Easter Bunny just naturally being a 6-foot-tall bunny...
Like, on paper, like, tell the tape, give me the bunny.
Give me the bunny.
Because I think the bunny is going to kick Santa to the curb.
Absolutely could.
Figuratively and literally.
But, like, yeah, there's no blood, actually. I'm going Easter Bunny for sure. So
You definitely thought I was going to say Santa, didn't you?
I thought you were going to set it up, say the Easter Bunny, and you were going to pull a Pat McAfee and be like, but give me Santa Claus!
I was actually about to do that.
I thought...
When you were sitting there talking, I was like, that's what I had to do. I was like, you know what? Who's that coming down the track?
It's like, on paper,
It's a big old man in the red and black.
the bunny is better. He has stronger kick power, more desire for treats, all this. But give me Santa Claus. Like, I thought
Because
you were
all
gonna,
the Georgia fans hype and then just crushes it.
give me Alabama. Like,
Shut your face. I'm just kidding.
yeah, but that's what I thought you were gonna do.
Super excited for that game.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That'd be
yeah.
tomorrow, wouldn't
Also, should we like say that now, or should we say that like on a video, like on Instagram or something?
We could probably just clip this and do that.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. We're hunting for clips right now. So, all right. Just bear with us here. 3, 2, 1. Hey, guys. So, actually, we're going on a break.
Zach's going to the SEC championship game that hopefully Georgia loses in. And I'm going to be in New York watching the Gators play UConn in basketball that hopefully the Gators win in. So we will see y'all next Friday.
Or if you're seeing this now, Friday.
Yeah. But we'll see you then.
Actually, let me just see what the date that would be.
Cut back to the real podcast. We're back, guys.
Let's do the one for hold on, let's do another one real quick.
Wait.
Hey guys, me and Hayden are going on some trips now.
Oh, hey guys. No, I'm kidding. All right,
back to actual program scheduled.
Back to the actual programming. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in Colossians faux
now.
yet again in CSB. There's not going to be a ton of reading today, actually. So you won't have to hear us yap for forever. There's not going to be a ton of stuff, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be good. We're going to summarize the part that we don't actually end up reading in the sense of, like, there'll be a few takeaways from it, and then that's kind of it. That'll be all of Colossians, only 4 chapters. So
3.5.
Yeah. So let's hop in. All we're reading today is 1 through 6. So, yeah, let's do it. And I'll talk about verse 1 really quick after we read it, and then we'll go through 2 through 6. So, verse 1, Masters, deal with your slaves justly and fairly, since you know that you too have a master in heaven. So, that, when we read the rest of this, is going to seem completely, like, weird that it's thrown in here. If you look back at Colossians 3 video we made, the back half of that chapter is talking about this type of stuff, and the Bible is not just some massive book that was actually written directly for us in the sense of it being chapters and verses and structured to us. A lot of it was letters, some of it was prayers, some of it was hymns and praises and songs, and so, like, it's people, biblical scholars, that broke down the book and they put verses to it and they put chapters to it. So I don't know why they did this, but for some reason it starts off with a thought pattern that was actually would have been better to be put at the back half of chapter 3, because when we get into verse 2, which you'll see, completely just shifts the narrative and the tone. So I don't know why it actually starts with this, but if you go back to the end of our last video, you will see how this verse fits perfectly into what we were saying. We were talking about basically verses like 22 through the end, kind of. So that's just to make sure that makes sense. But starting in verse 2, where the chapter probably should have actually started. Devote yourselves to prayer. Stay alert in it with thanksgiving. At the same time, pray also for us, that God may open a door to us for the word, to speak the mystery of Christ, for which I am in chains, so that I may make it known as I should. Act wisely toward outsiders, making the most of the time. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you should answer each person.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all there. Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen this a couple times through Colossians. Paul has this emphasis on prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And as a follower of Christ, prayer is something that is so easy to do, but also it can be something that's so forgetful.
Yeah, or something that can become like casual and you forget
Right.
who you're talking to.
But Paul's saying, like, stay alert in it. Like, know what you're praying. Know who you're praying to. Know why you're praying.
Yeah, and
then
devote yourself to it, yeah.
Yeah. And at the same time, pray for us. God may open a door to use the word, his word, excuse me, that stuff, to speak the mystery of Christ, for which I am in chains.
Mm-hmm.
See, again, Paul is in prison, and we talked about this in the first video, but Paul is in prison during this message.
Yeah.
He's in prison because he showed and displayed his faithfulness to Christ.
Yeah.
So obviously, he's saying, hey, pray for us so that we continue to do that, but also be somebody that prays for yourself to have that opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think most of the time, I think we get lost in the sauce of our speech.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to joke and pick, and, you know, you're at work, and it's fun to joke like this, or you're at school, and it's fun to joke like this, and it's like, no, bro, always be gracious.
Mm-hmm.
season with salt, like, it makes it better.
Yeah.
It makes it a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
So that you may know how you should answer each person.
Mm-hmm.
Because each person is going to have a different requirement for answering.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to talk to you the way I can talk to some other person.
Mm-hmm.
I can't talk to people at work the same way I talk to you. I can't talk to the one person here that I can talk to there. Like, it's just different. But yeah, I mean, just stay consistent in prayer. Pray often, pray all the time, but stay alert in it.
Yeah.
If you're just praying just to pray, are you really praying? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you have the authority to ask God to give you opportunity to just spread His gospel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff there. I like just the idea of devote yourselves to prayer and then stay alert in that those prayers you're devoting yourselves to. So, like, don't devote yourself to being consistent in prayer, but not consistently active in knowing what you're talking about and understanding who you're talking to. Like, devote yourself to prayer, but then stay alert in the fact that you're talking to the King of the universe. Like, it's so easy to get in casual conversation with God, which is not a problem.
Yeah.
But if all your conversation with God is just some casual, like, well, Lord, I'm going here, just so thankful for this. Like, hope that today, like, bro, there should be a little bit of reverence and honor and, like, understanding. Not that it always has to be that way, but if all you're having is casual conversation and there's no, like, praises in your prayers and there's no, like, holy reverence of the understanding that, wow, I really do have access to the King of the universe. So I think it's cool that it pairs, like, a devotion, which is something that a lot of times we think is the only requirement. It's like, bro, you just need to talk to God all the time. Well, no, you also need to be alert in the fact of, like, oh, wait, this is who I'm talking to. So I think that's a really good challenge, yet again, with Thanksgiving, which is not about being thankful. It's about the holiday Thanksgiving. So you only need to do this stuff around Thanksgiving. I'm completely kidding, obviously. And I like verse 3, it shows, 3 and 4 shows Paul's heart. Like, he asked for prayer, but what does he ask for prayer for? He doesn't ask for prayer to get out of these chains. He could have easily done that. Like, honestly, if me or Zach are in that situation, we're probably asking for prayer to get out of prison. I'm being, like, so serious. That's not me just saying that. If I was in prison and I was able to write a letter to people, especially a church, a group of people that, like we read about in James, that, like, the earnest prayer of a righteous person, like, it has great power in its full effect and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm going to write to him and say, bro, can you pray that, like, these, like, prison doors would kind of, like, swing open or something like it did back in the day?
Probably.
But no, he doesn't do that. He says, hey, I don't want you to pray for me that I get out of prison. Pray for me that I can keep spreading the gospel. If that means I get out of prison, cool. If it doesn't, I don't care. I want to spread the gospel. And it shows what his focus was about.
And a lot of Paul's heat comes from prison.
Most of, like, Paul's heat comes straight out of
straight out the cell, dog.
Yeah.
So then it's like, but now that we're on this topic, sorry, you can go back in a second. But
yeah.
I mean, this is like a full circle moment for me, at least in my head. And, I mean, Paul asked them not to pray for him, but to pray for the spreading of the gospel. And he's literally has so many books in the New Testament.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a Christian that doesn't know who Paul's name is.
Yeah.
So, which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool how, like, ultimately, and I don't know the time frame of when Colossians was written compared to the other letters he wrote, but ultimately, like, you could see that that's all he cared about. Is like, bro, I just want to spread the gospel. He ended up writing literally, like, half the New Testament. And it's like, he was so sold out for the gospel to the point that where he would be okay being in chains for it if it meant that other people could get to know Jesus. Totally cool with it. Like, bro, don't pray that, no, pray, like, that's the least of your worries that I get out of prison. It should be that, like, bro, I'm dangerous for the kingdom. And so if prison limits me, then okay. But if prison makes me be able to reach more people, keep me here. Like, I'll stay. So I think that's really cool. I think 5 and 6 are a really good challenge to, if you're a believer, to non-believers when it comes to when you're around people. Like, act wisely toward outsiders. That would be considered people that aren't inside, which means people that don't believe. Making the most of the time. So, like, act wisely. Like, obviously, we've talked about integrity and things like that, and we've talked about how somehow, like, we don't know the fruit of mega church pastors or big guys. Like, do they live like this on the outside and not on the inside? But, like, yes, the way you act outwardly outside of your house or whatever should be the same way you act around your close friends and stuff. But it is saying, like, there is something unique about the opportunity when you're a believer and you're around a non-believer. Be very careful what you do, what you say. They're watching, whether you know it or not. And so it's saying, like, act wisely and then also make the most of the time you have with them. And so it gives these two things. It gives actions, which James talks a lot about when we did that. And it also gives words, which James talked a lot about. So it's kind of cool how that goes back to James and how you compare them.
Yeah. And just want to touch on that too. Like, as a follower of Christ, you have the ability to speak into somebody's life in a way that you will never understand fully. So I'm at work, and there's this guy that I really like talking to. He's my homie, all the things. But he doesn't go to church, doesn't really follow Jesus. He's kind of talked about looking into it or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, I've been talking the past couple days, and he's like, bro, I want to go to church with you. And so, in that moment, it's like, that's awesome. Right? Like, I was able to talk to him about going to church, doing this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, it's not me. It's God through me, or Jesus through me. Like, it's so amazing. And how you're saying, like, act wisely. Don't be doing stupid stuff. Don't make those stupid jokes. Because realistically, if you can't make a stupid joke to a person that is not inside or not a follower of Christ, you probably shouldn't make it with your boys. Yeah. Right? If it don't show Jesus, you probably shouldn't do it in general. And that's, obviously stepping on my toes. Like, I make stupid jokes all the time. Mm-hmm. But so that's definitely something that I need to work on. And, I forgot what I was about to say, dude. That's something else. Oh. Okay. You got something?
No, if you remember it, you got it.
But I think what's also neat about this is, like, act wisely towards outwards, making the most of the time. And for some reason, this brought me back to us at camp in our training week where we got in a circle that was, like, we put arms around each other, got in a circle, and looked in. And it was, like, inward looking, make sure we take care of each other, make sure we do all this, do all that. But I think in that circle is kind of different than what this is. But I think to apply it to this, it's if we look out, we still have each other's backs, but we're looking for people to bring to the circle. And if maybe you're solo, but, like, you're still looking. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I think it's unique, too, in the sense that, like, let your speech always be gracious to where you can have the right response. That's the unique thing about Christianity. Like, it's grace. Like, I think it was, I don't remember if it was C.S. Lewis or...
Lewis Capaldi.
Lewis Capaldi. I want to say it was C.S. Lewis. It was someone who was a professor, which, yeah, that would almost check out. I don't remember, but I think it was C.S. Lewis, and he was at maybe it was Cambridge or Oxford or something. Regardless, he was at this school, and all these teachers that, like, knew a ton of religions, they wrote all these words that kind of, like, describe religions that you would think of about religion on a whiteboard. They wrote, like, love, faithfulness, dedication, like, all these types of words that could describe religion, and they brought C.S. Lewis in there, and they were like, bro, what makes yours different? And he erased the whole thing, and he wrote down grace. And so, like, that is ultimately the difference. Like, some religions have mercy, almost none of them have grace. That's what's unique about Christianity. So I think it's cool how it's saying, like, let your speech be gracious. It's like that's what would stand out, and that's what gives you, in your setting, the right response to know how to answer someone that says all these things around you and hangs out with you to the point to where they will be like, oh, well, who would I ask if I wanted to go to church? It'd be Zach. So, yeah, I think that's really good. But, yeah, and then we have this little summary, final greetings. There's a lot of stuff in it that you can read for yourself. He kind of just lists a ton of people in a lot of different ways. I kind of wanted to just really quickly, there's this guy named, I don't know how you say his name, I forgot, Titus or something like that.
Close enough.
Definitely wrong. But I think it's cool. So this guy Titus, however you say his name, we'll say Ty, that's a better one. Ty got sent to this church so that Paul and his group of guys could know how they're doing. But it wasn't just for that. He also got sent so that he could encourage the church of Colossae, encourage their hearts. I think it's just really cool because, like, Paul could have picked anyone other than Ty to get sent if it was just to do, like, a recon mission. Like, all right, how are y'all doing? Like, y'all doing good? What I need to go report back to Boss Man Paul? But he chose Ty for some reason because he also knew that they needed to be encouraged. So I think it's really cool, like, not to, buff up Ty in the sense of, like, he seems like a pretty awesome, encouraging guy, but, like, I like to put myself in these situations and be like, man, would I be someone that someone would think of like, wow, these people need encouragement. Let's send Hayden. Like, do I live a life like that? And you could apply that to almost anything. Like if someone needed love, if someone needed the gospel, if someone needed encouragement, if someone needed accountability, if someone needed prayer. Like, are you the type of person that when someone else needs one of those things, prayer, love, accountability, hope, joy, peace, comfort, any of those things, does someone think, oh my goodness, I got to send them to you because let me tell you, they'll give it to you like exactly how you need it. And I thought that was really cool that in this case, Ty was the guy when it came to encouragement. Are you that for any of those characteristics? Like, if someone needs love, is it like, oh, bingo, got it, yeah, for sure. You need to talk. Let me give you their number. Like, if someone needs the gospel, do they think of you? I thought that was really cool that that's what it came down for Ty, is that he was the guy that would encourage them. But yeah, I like that part.
Yeah, that's great. That is great. Yeah, bro. It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you have anything else? Do you want to kind of do a quick recap?
I mean, this will kind of lead us into the recap in a cool way, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Epaphras. So like Zach has said, he kind of like helped plant the church and start everything with the church in Colossae at the beginning, like he talked about. And it's cool in verse 12, you'll see that it says he is always wrestling for you in his prayers so that you can stand mature and fully assured in everything God wills. So like Epaphras shows us a cool like kind of a discipleship moment in the sense that he helped plant this church and get it up going and running. And obviously now if they're having to send a greeting from him, that means he's not there anymore. And so he's moved on in the sense of he's not with this church anymore, with these people anymore, but he's still wrestling for them in his prayers, which shows his actual care and love and affection for people, which goes back to how you said before, like ministry, this life of following Jesus is a people business. And so like you got to actually care about the people that you say you care about or that you pretend like you care about. And for Epaphras, it was true enough to the point where even when he had moved on from this church and was not helping plant them anymore, helping disciple them directly anymore, he was still wrestling for them in their prayers. No clue how long this was removed from when the church was planted. But I think it just shows like the heart posture we're supposed to have, not as church planners, but as people who make disciples, ultimately. So, yeah, I like that. I think that's good.
I like that too. Yeah, I think we should do the recap and then hit the last line.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I like that.
Yeah. Obviously, real quick, Colossians is a book written by Paul. Paul is in prison. Epaphras came and seen Paul, told him about Colossae, a church that he helped plant and start.
Mm-hmm.
Epaphras and Paul worked together. Worked, past tense. So yeah, and then Paul wrote him this letter. There was a few big takeaways. You got a couple you want to talk about?
Yeah. I'll just go with I'll do two of them that come to my mind. One is the gospel.
Yep.
You know, like Colossians 2 was full of it. Like 2:14 is the fact that he canceled the record of charges that we had against us, that debt ledger, and he took it away by nailing it to the cross. Colossians 3:3, for you died to this life, your life is hidden with Christ in God. Like chapter 2 and chapter 3 were very, very gospel-centered. Like, if you want to get gospel without reading the gospel, you basically hop in Romans, or you could really, really hop in Colossians chapter 2 and 3, and you could really see just the beauty of the fact that God would send his son to die for us when we didn't deserve it. And so I think that's a big takeaway for me, is just the gospel verses that are very good and leads into the second point, that are a good reminder of our identity, of like who it's found in. It's found in Christ, right? In him lie hidden all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. We're supposed to think about the things above, the things of heaven, not the things of this earth. And so I think it's a really good book if you want gospel-centered verses and you also want to remember who your identity is in. Like, you don't have to live under the old requirements that sin held you captive in. Like, the record was canceled. You died to this life. Your real life is hidden with Christ and God. Seek him out. The more you know him, the more you know yourself. And so I say that those two things, like, if for some reason you just now are hopping into our podcast and you're hopping in on the 4th chapter, you missed a lot of really good stuff. So there's a lot of gospel and there's a lot of identity.
Yeah. I definitely was going to say something about identity for myself. I think that is a great point, because once you're born again of Christ, the old you has died, and you have to drop that, as we talked about, putting on new clothes.
Yeah, dead.
Every day you have to step into the new socks, you know, and it's kind of weird. Like, you have to constantly find new socks. You have to constantly do it.
Well, it's like if you work out but the socks get sweaty, you should stop wearing the socks. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's great because it is real. I think once you meet Jesus, your life changes instantly and drastically. There's no other way to describe it, because, you know, once you know what that love feels like, it's nothing like any other love, and it makes you do things that it wouldn't seem normal to do, man. Like, wow, dude, you're so nice for no reason, or wow, dude, all these different things. And I think what's neat is that ability comes from the one that died on the cross for us.
Yeah, solely through him. Yeah,
which I think is so cool, because it's like, not only did he die on the cross for us to give us the gift of eternal life, but he gave us the gifts of all of the things, fruits of the Spirit. Like, he gave us all those gifts. And then another thing I'd hit on is, you know, you see it come up a couple times, and I think it's super practical, but just prayer. I mean,
yeah,
super simple, super easy. Like, pray for opportunities to share the gospel. Pray for people that share the gospel. You know, pray for things that are needed for you. All the things, like grow that relationship with God, and just, you know, have an open conversation with Him. But yeah, I mean, again, I think my biggest takeaway was just the identity thing.
Yeah. And something I'll throw in there too that I think pairs all these things really well is love. That verse from chapter 3 or whatever, where it talked about, actually it's right here, verse 14. Above all, put on love, which is the perfect bond of unity. I forgot that it's on the same page. But like, love wins ultimately. I know we said that and reiterated that a lot in the last video.
It's not our love.
Yes, and so it's like His love wins, which is why the debt ledger, the debt record was able to be canceled, which was why that you were able to die to this life to where your real life could be found in Him, which is why you should devote yourself to prayer and be alert. Which is why your identity's in Him. Like, it's because He loved us ultimately enough to send His own Son to die for us, and that's why He is worthy of love in return. That's why He's worthy to be devoted to in prayer. That's why He's worthy to find our identity in Him, because there's no one we should find it in else other than Him. Like, there's no one else worthy of that. So, yeah, I'd say His love is just a big theme, which it's a big theme throughout the whole Bible. But definitely if you're talking about identity and you're talking about the gospel and you're talking about prayer, all of those things are really easily like related to love, and that's like a verse 14 is a good verse for that. So
yeah, sounds good to me. Well, guys, that is Colossians.
Well,
that's Colossians as a whole.
Yeah, that's Colossians as a whole. But for the last verse, really quickly, verse 18, I think it's really cool. It's like low-key savage the way Paul says this. I, Paul, am writing this greeting with my own hand. Remember my chains. Grace be with you. I just love the way he says, like, remember my chains, in the sense of, like, and it talked about earlier, he said, like, at the same time, pray also for us that God may open a door to us for the word that we speak, the mystery of Christ, for which I am in chains. So we already know he's in chains because of the gospel. But I like how he gives them the challenge to remember it. And you talked about this a little bit ago. I think it's like a good challenge. There's a lot of different like viewpoints on why he would have said that, but ultimately I think it's a good just challenge and reminder to this church of like, hey guys, like, remember that this guy is my everything, to the point to where when I'm asking for prayer, I'm not asking about it for my chains. I'm asking about it to where the gospel can be spread. And that's why I'm saying, hey, remember my chains, though. When I talked about the debt ledger being canceled, when I talked about your identity, when I talked about love, when I talked about prayer, and how it seems like all these amazing things, I'm saying these chained to a wall, basically. Like, this is my perspective. Remember my chains. Remember all the things that I write in Philippians about all this amazing stuff. You think Paul's living in a palace. He's in a prison. And so I think, like, it's just so cool in the sense that he ends it in a letter that in a lot of ways is a very encouraging letter, a very gospel-centered letter, a very identity-like letter, like you said you would hit on. it presents itself like it's something that's so encouraging, and it's coming from a place that without Christ would be hopelessness. And so it's like, hey guys, remember my chains. I'm writing this from prison. So I really like that ending.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. That's it. That's
Those
Colossians
beans
4.
are cool.
That's Colossians 4, and that's the whole book of Colossians. We made it through
Colossians.
without dying. So that's, well, we died to ourselves. But
Just a massive edit of just like Vecna coming through the wall.
oh my gosh. Well, now he has that weird long arm thing now where he
Just
can
a little like
but yeah, I think it was yeah. So if you haven't watched Stranger Things, it gets a little creepy.
Spoiler alert.
His hand that he used to use to like Vecna the people, like now he uses it to like stick through people's head. It's like really scary actually.
It's pretty dope. That Will is crazy though.
Yeah, bro. White Eye Will is a whole different animal, bro. So, bro said the aura when he just. Yeah, sorry. All right, that's it for this one. Sorry, let me not aura farm here. That's it for this one.
Well, we appreciate you. Thank you again. You're amazing. Lock in. Praise God.
Peace out, Rainbow Trout.